All right. Good afternoon, everybody. The time is about 1:03. My name is Christian Waugh, and I hereby call this Citrus County boat launch hearing for March 15, 2023 to order. The first item on the agenda is the call to order. The second item on the agenda is the pledge to the flag. So I would ask you to join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So the next item on the agenda is a note, and I don't know if someone from the county wants to read that note into the record or not, but it's usually a good idea just to let the public know what's going on.
I'll be happy to.
Okay.
If any person decides to appeal any decision made by the Code Compliance Special Master with respect to any matter considered at this public hearing, he or she will need to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceedings is made, which record shall include the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based.
The next item on the agenda is the staff update. Is there a staff update on anything relating to the boat launch hearing?
Would it be the revisions to the agenda?
You could. Let me know. So how many cases have been removed or will not, are not even up for hearing today?
9.
9? Okay. And would you mind telling me what numbers they are? I don't need the violation ID, but do you know what numbers they are?
74,
Okay.
75, 76.
Okay.
154,
Okay.
159,
Yep.
160,
All right.
184, 185, 186.
And what is the significance of the highlighted yellow, orange names in the agenda?
It was just to give a visual to show that there is a same person with multiple violations. And when the yellows were together, we did a differentiation in shade.
Good. All right. That makes sense to me. I guess if I had looked a little closer, I could have picked that pattern out for myself, but that makes sense. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you just a brief speech, I guess. This is the boat launch hearing, and so we're here to determine whether or not there have been violations of Citrus County's relatively recent boat launch ordinance. And the county has the burden of proof of establishing by competent substantial evidence that there is a violation that has occurred. However, you will have the ability to argue against that case and present evidence, which could be in the form of witnesses or documents or however you wish. The main thing that I have to do for any respondent is to provide what's called due process. You have a right to be heard and to make any comment on anything that the county presents. And so at the conclusion of each individual hearing, I'll make a determination as to whether or not there is a violation or not. Now, in this ordinance, it's very specific about what the penalties are. In other words, I don't really have discretion on what the fines will be as there is in a code compliance hearing, where I could go anywhere from $0 to $1,000 per day. Here, there's a relatively low fine for a first-time violation, and then there are, I think, relatively high fines for repeat violations. And so that will be beyond my determination as to discretion of the fee amount, but I would also have to assess any administrative costs by ordinance if there is a violation. And you would have the right to appeal any order I make as provided by law. So I think I've said everything I need to say, and I'm ready to proceed.
What we'd like to do is present evidence as to how the process works for the issuance of the notice of violations, and have that evidence considered for all the cases, but just present it one time, if that's all right with you. And then we'll have each violation presented as to what evidence we have for each violation.
I'm interested. We can try it. Let's see how it
Okay.
goes.
All right, so first, I'd like to call Charles Dumet. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
That's correct.
And could you tell us, are you employed with Premium Parking Services?
That's correct.
And you have the contract for the processing of boat launch violations?
That's correct.
Could you tell us how the parking areas or the boat launches themselves, which are, some are in parking lots, some are not, how they are monitored?
All both lots payments are monitored real-time verification by LPR camera, and the identifier. Okay. And the identifier is the plate number on the trailer. So once someone from the public pulls into a boat launch area, the plate is stored in our database, and they're given a hour time frame in which they can go ahead and pay for the boat launch, or it's synced up with their annual boat pass. So when that doesn't happen, the violation is given to our database monitors. They're human beings. Two people, they both look at it and verify it, and if it's a violation, we have a DMV lookup with the state of Florida, or wherever state that plate is plated in, and we do a DMV lookup, and it's the violation sent to the person's house.
Do you swear an oath to tell the truth?
Oh, you're not under oath, that's correct.
Okay, we need to swear.
And anybody
Is it
else
Mr.
can
Demet?
testify.
Yes.
Demet, we need to swear you in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you shall give into the court in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Do you swear and affirm that everything you've already said at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Please proceed.
And that's how it works. So once someone gets a violation in the mail, we do an administrative review where you can go ahead and go online and ask for an administrative review, and staff will look at it, and if we feel that the violation needs to be voided, we'll void it.
So the notices of violations are mailed to the owner of the vehicle that.
Whoever's registered
Tag
is,
number that was recorded?
yeah, whatever is recorded with the DMV in Florida or wherever state the vehicle or the trailer is plated, that's where the notification goes to.
And are those notices sent by certified mail?
Yes, they are.
And what do the notices provide?
Provides a timestamp on when the violation occurred. So it has a picture of when they entered the boat launch or did a launch, and when they exited the launch, and why it was a violation, and how much the fee would be, or the citation fee would be.
Does it also include a notice of a hearing date in case they want to dispute the citation?
It does.
And if somebody calls you up, what's the process in your office for somebody who received a notice of violation? Who
Oh.
calls?
So we'll call and we'll look through our database and see when it was time stamped, and if they pay or did not pay, or if they're not registered. So that's the process.
Have there been instances where they've told you that if they weren't at the boat launch or anything, and you've determined that to go ahead and cancel the notice of violation?
It has been, because sometimes when people sell their boats, they don't go ahead and update their information with the DMV, and they provide proof that they're living out of county or aren't there, and we'll go ahead and avoid the citation.
Are there signs posted
Yes,
at
there's
each
signs
boat
posted.
ramp?
Yes.
And I guess I'm gonna have this kind of, I can't throw these over there, so.
I mean, I'll walk them if you.
Whichever. I was gonna have them identify the exhibits, and we'll give them to you to review.
These are going to be exhibits in every case. It's like a standard exhibit.
Yes.
Oh, no, we'll figure it
I'm gonna show you what's marked as Exhibit A. Is this posted at all the boat launches?
out. That's correct.
And what does that provide?
It gives instructions, the fees, and it gives 3 different ways where you can actually pay for a boat pass. And it has a QR code where if you need to do an annual pass, you can go ahead and sign up for an annual pass on site as well.
And can you call in and get an annual pass?
Yes, you can.
When you've received people, or who calls from people who have received notices of violations, do you offer an opportunity at that time for annual passes as well?
We do. We give them the option to do that, right? So if you forgot about it or you want to get an annual pass and you got a notice of violation, we've been very lenient with the public, stating, well, we'll avoid the ticket, just go and buy the annual pass. I mean, why would you pay $50 and you pay $25 on site? So.
Thank you.
And has that happened before with people?
It has. It has.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit B. Can you tell us what that is?
This is a aerial of where all the signage is has been installed in the parking lot and also on the boat ramps itself.
And what on the first page of Exhibit B shows where the signs are posted? What indicates that?
On the exhibit,
Mm-hmm.
yellow stars.
I'm sorry, what did the yellow stars indicate?
Indicates where each signage is located. Each sign is located either in the parking lot or on the boat ramp itself.
And I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit C. And can you tell us what that is?
This aerial again showing where the signage is located on the parking area and on the boat launch itself. Again in yellow stars showing where the signs are being placed or installed.
Ms. Antrim, I have a question. Would it be the county's, assuming this process is something that we all end up agreeing works, is this something the county would be doing at each boat launch hearing at the beginning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If
So
so,
that everyone hears.
right, that makes sense. But if you do it that way, then everyone has an opportunity as well to object to things that are going on, which is fine. I mean, we don't have a huge crowd today. But sir, I do want you to know that, I mean, if you did have an objection for some, I just want to explain this. You know, you could let me know.
Well, I'm going to object to half the stuff you're saying right at the moment. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
We'll do that when we get to my
Well, look, the thing is that when you, as a respondent, present your case, they can object to stuff you do and say, and it goes both ways. So that's just something to think about how that might work in the future if we do have 100 people sitting here.
Yes, and the reason we want to put in each boat launch is so that when we do address individual notices of violations, we're going to be talking about specific boat launches.
Yeah, there's 4 of them, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I suppose it probably going forward, we might want to make all this photographs available to people as they're coming.
I think that's
And
essential.
Like just a big poster thing of.
I think that's a great
photograph,
idea.
So everyone can see it and they'll know what we're looking at and talking about.
Right. And so maybe if we do use this process going forward, I need to explain that to the people as well at the beginning of the hearing so that they know that they're involved at this stage. They're not just sitting learning. They're involved. So, okay. Please proceed. We'll see how this goes.
All right, and then could you tell me what's been marked as Exhibit D is?
Exhibit D, again, same as before. D shows 4 locations where signage has been placed on site at the boat ramp and the parking area as well.
Which boat ramp is it?
McRae's. This is McRae's aerial.
And I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit E, and can you tell us what that is?
Nano Beach aerial. These are sign locations. Again, shows marked in yellow stars showing on the boat ramps in the parking area about signage for the boat ramps.
And then as you go back through the packet, does that show pictures of the individual signs?
It does.
Thank you. Do you want me to assess where we're right here together?
So that's what I want to
Okay.
do. So,
You don't
well,
wanna look at
well,
these?
sir, let me address it before you say no. You have the right to say no, but I just want to advise you. What I'm going to do is I usually ask you to take a look to see if you do have any objection to
I've
them.
got a receipt. That's the biggest thing I need. But I got a receipt that shows I paid.
Okay, but hold on. So, fair enough. But if you don't have an objection, I'm just going to admit them as evidence for your hearing as well, probably. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's why I want you to take a look and just let me know if you do have an objection. I understand that your case may not depend on it, but
We were doing FWC work on both, several different programs. But it's what he's saying is I don't agree with, because it's not the way it worked with me.
okay.
I'm sure the ticket will tell us which one boat ramp out of that, but that's all.
That's the Lake. The others are saltwater.
This we all know it's not what. I know we launched from that one, but it's not what I think.
That's the Lake again.
And sir, can you state your name for the record? Because
Billy
now,
Hay.
I'm sorry?
Billy, hey?
Hey?
Yes.
Okay. And just in case you weren't aware, these do go on YouTube. So if you have any good jokes or anything, might make it more watchable.
The Parkland system? This one right here.
Fort Island Trail,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
I was thinking more, what do you call a cow that sees a ghost? A milkshake, you know, something like that. A real gem.
I was thinking extra 6 hours for a system that.
All right, so I've been presented what appears to be what's been proposed as exhibits A, B, C, D, and E. And I'm going to think about that for a second. And the county wants to introduce these as exhibits for all the cases for today.
For today, yes.
Mr. Hay, do you have any objection to them being evidence in your hearing?
No, sir.
All right. Let me just take a look. Is the point of identifying the sign locations to indicate that people have a reasonable opportunity to have notice?
Yes, it is. And I think these are really more demonstrative than anything else, though, so that everyone can see where the signs are supposed to be and where the boat ramps are. Because I think some people have indicated that they haven't not seen the signs.
Mhm.
At least people we've heard from. No one who's here yet today, so.
All right, I'll provisionally admit them as exhibits in all the cases, pending any potential objections from people who walk in that I'll take up at the time of their hearing. Okay, so we're done
And
with
I think
that.
that's the way we could handle it going forward too. Everybody will have an opportunity to review it, and then they can address it with you as to whether they really didn't see a sign or they can contest what's actually depicted.
And I think it would be necessary to introduce it at every hearing for various reasons, but it could also be that signs fall down or change. You never know what the circumstances would be. Let me think if I have any questions based on these exhibits. Okay, I mean, let's see how it goes. I'll indulge the county on how it wants to proceed at this point, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, I believe we'll present the violation for the person who's here first.
That would be nice.
Put to the right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you shall give to the court in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I will.
Good morning. Afternoon.
Good
Sorry.
afternoon. I'm Francine Nobles. I'm the Director for Citrus County Parks and Recreation. So we have Mr. Hay.
So you've called case 94 in the agenda,
Case
which is
94 in the agenda, correct?
case number 813-1227.
Correct.
Okay.
And on November the 2nd, 2022, 1:24 in the morning, in a vehicle in a Florida plate state tag number IZ70WN, was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Gulf Beach. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected that the vehicle was owned by respondent Billy Hay. A notice of violation was sent to respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period.
How do you find the information on who the owner is by license plate? Like what database do you have access to that you can just find that?
I would have to refer that to premium parking.
Okay.
Oh, we're integrated with Florida DMV.
You have a contract with the DMV to just have access to all their records?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to have a contract like that. It's interesting. You could probably find a lot of information out. All right. So you haven't had any contact with Mr. Hay before today?
I have not.
Yeah. And you're not aware of any other contact that the county has had in regards to this?
I am not.
Okay. Well, Mr. Hay, I would like to hear from you. If you don't mind coming to the microphone so that we pick up your voice. So what's going on in your opinion? Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Hay, can you put your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you shall give to the court in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am. We were doing work for FWC, pulling boats out of multiple boat ramps. The day that I got the violation was the first time we'd ever used the system. I'd never been up in Citrus County. I'd never used none of the boat ramps. Assuming everybody has a smartphone or a cell phone that they can even get on the system with, you're stuck at this boat ramp. There's not a lot of instruction on the sign of what you need. I had my tag number on my truck when I went down to the boat ramp. We were launching multiple boats. So one was being parked and I was logging in other boats. Like I said, we were pulling boats for FWC. Well, by the time I got it logged in,
Actually, help me understand that. So what does it mean to pull boats for is it Fish and Wildlife?
derelict vessels. We have
Oh, so they're just out there.
correct. We have a contract for FWC pulling derelict vessels out of your waterways.
Okay.
And I think this one was for Citrus County. Not sure if it was for derelict vessels or this one was FWC or not. I'm not sure exactly who the contract was. This one might have been directly with Citrus County. But here nor there. I paid for the parking, and when I got the letter, it told me I had a violation, and I went back and I had a screenshot of where, because they text it to me. It tells me how long I've got left on my parking. So I called the number on the violation. I'm like, hey, I parked. So they pulled it up in the computer. They could clearly see it was in the computer. They could see I was 17 minutes after the thing took a picture. So his hour thing, they told me it was a 15-minute window. And I was 2 minutes past the window. I could not handle it over the phone. They would not handle it over the phone. I went to their website because there's some link on there. You have to really search for it to be able to upload the documentation to get to, I guess, appeal it in their system. You couldn't get the pictures to upload. I had very low signal when I was there with the cell phones anyhow. So 17 minutes, 15 minutes, either way, I've got the receipt. You're saying 1 in the morning. That's not the one. That's not what my violation was. Because like I said, we were only off a couple minutes.
Well, now let me make sure I understand what you're saying. Because parking and launches are two different things, I believe. Are you saying that you paid for parking, but are you aware that there's a separate fee for launching the boat?
I had several trucks and trucks with trailers.
Okay.
So I think I paid for launch on everything because I wasn't quite sure the difference. So I wanted to make sure if we backed something down on that boat ramp, we were covered.
Okay.
I paid $10.35 a launch, or whatever it was for my receipt.
How many did you pay for?
I don't even know. I was paying for.
Did you pay for it on behalf of a company?
No, I just went through my account because of my tag numbers.
So is Premium Parking or the county in possession of money that you have paid for boat launch fees?
Yes, sir.
And do you have copies of those receipts?
I've got the copy of the one that was pertaining to this,
Okay.
violation.
Is it the county's position that no payment has been received either from Mr. Hay or the company that Mr. Hay works for?
That's correct, based on the documentation we're provided.
Have you
from
seen the
Premium.
receipt that Mr. Hay's talking about?
I have not.
Do you want to show
Well,
the
what date- 'cause you
receipt?
said a different time.
This is, now, let me be clear. Let's just hold on. I'm not, the only way to have that be evidence in this hearing is if you have a printout or something that we can take. I'm not going to confiscate your phone, and even if you wanted to give me the phone, I'm not going to take it. Okay? So the purpose of me asking you to show this to the county is so that the county can check, perhaps in real time, to discover whether the money's actually there. Because I believe that they have the ability to do that. So would you mind taking a look at his phone to see the receipt, and then we can check if the money's actually there?
Okay.
Keep an eye on your phone, though. You never know. You never know.
I mean, that's like I said, assuming everybody has a smartphone.
Violation,
It's not like,
to
because at
make sure
Pete's
that-
Pier, they have a kiosk where you can actually put your card in.
I see what you're saying.
And they'll
Yeah.
print you a ticket. So now you've got all paper copies, but everything's
But
electronic.
Mr. Hay, I do want you just to hold on because I want everyone to be able to hear what you're saying, and right now they're looking at your phone.
That's fine.
This is the first time that we've had a hearing like this, so we're learning in real time.
We're gonna look it up in like 2 minutes. We're gonna verify.
Okay. Do you need a little time?
Yeah, about a couple minutes.
Okay.
It's not a database, so we just gotta go.
All right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, Mr. Hay, adjourn this hearing while they check that out. Do you have the ability to work on another case at the same time between you two? Like if we hear another case while this one, or do you want
Yes.
us to wait?
Yes.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to adjourn your hearing, Mr. Hay, and we'll take up the second case.
Is there a restroom on the
There sure is.
All right, thank you.
Do we have a second one? I don't.
29,
Start
32.
at the top.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, wherever you want to
Yes,
start.
start
Oh,
at
we
the
still
first-
have to go over every
Start
one
from-
of these even though they're not present?
Yes.
The county, and this will be informational for our viewers, our numerous viewers. You have the burden as the county to actually put evidence into the record, and the reason is due process. If it could be that the county could just have me sign an order because they don't show up, government could theoretically, Citrus County would never do this, but a government could theoretically get away with a lot of stuff. So as a bare minimum, there has to be evidence behind the order. And incidentally, if an order goes out, even if they're not here, they could appeal it. And if there's no evidence to support it in the record, they win that appeal, right? So it's just important that we go by the book.
And chapter 162 requires that even if they're not here,
That's
the
right.
evidence be presented.
Well, but that's the reason. And yeah,
Yes.
and Citrus County does a great job at following what Chapter 162 has. It's a procedure that's in the Florida statutes for a reason. It works. So anyways, I welcome you calling your next case.
Okay, agenda number 1. And I apologize if I don't pronounce these last names correctly. Joel Ambrovitz, ID number 8392548, December the 27th, 2022. A vehicle with Florida state tag number LMP G07 was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflect the vehicle was owned by respondent Joel Ambrovitz. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is respondent's first violation within a 6-month period.
Does the county have any other documents that it wants to offer in this case?
We do. We have a packet of the information provided from Premium Parking's database.
It's up to the county, but I mean, I'll say for the record that in quasi-judicial proceedings like this, hearsay is admissible, right? And so everything you've said right now, a lot of it is hearsay, but it's admissible. The issue in a hearing like this is that very often I cannot, for the evidence that it needs to show a violation, I may not be able to rely entirely on hearsay. And so in any event, there may be documents that you can introduce and like business records that are sufficient, but I don't have those yet. And so I'm hoping that there's something else.
I believe that's what
Yes, this
we
is
have
the,
right here. This is yours, right?
mhm,
Take it.
yeah,
And these are.
yes. I have pictures of the,
One second.
Do you have these records for every case?
we do.
Okay.
Mr. Dumet. I'd like to show you this. Information that's been provided with regard to case number 1. And could you tell us, are those documents that have been created by your company with regard to the parking violation? I'm sorry, the boat launch violation?
Yes, that's correct.
And what do they reflect?
They reflect the license plate number, time stamp, was a violation. Shows when they parked on, when they launched and exited the boat ramp, the location, the amount that was supposed to be paid. Shows the verification process via the LPR camera and also by the two human beings that take a look at the database. So what's violated, what's not violated. So,
Are those documents kept in the ordinary course of Premium Parking's business?
yes,
And
That's
is it
correct.
information that is in your records or in your computer system that then is generated in a paper record?
that's correct.
Are these records that are created? Actually, let me think about that. There's a few other. Was the record made at or around the time of the event that it captures?
That's correct. It's real time when the time step is done.
And is it your regular practice to keep records such as this for your business?
That's correct. That's
Right.
regular practice.
It's your practice to keep the data in your computer system,
Yes,
but then you're producing the records for purposes of this hearing.
that's correct.
So I guess we could call this composite exhibit 1.
Well, you're already A through E, so I think it would really be F. Thanks.
And I'd like to request that be accepted.
Is there anyone from the public who's going to want to be heard on this case? All right, hearing no response, I will take a look and see if it's admissible. For the record, I am skeptical we're going to make it through 200 cases today.
That's why we brought alternative dates.
Yeah, I know, and we'll go through that. Let's see. So, is this first page?
The first page is generated by the county.
All right. All right, so I'm taking off the first page and otherwise admitting Exhibit F into the record on this case. And I'm reviewing the ordinance. So what is the county asking for in this case?
That there would be the administrative fine along with administrative cost.
And the fine would be $50.
It is for the first violation per the ordinance.
And what is the administrative cost?
I did not total that up. I know we talked about certified mailing with the cost of, I apologize.
Okay, well, then we won't provide it for this hearing.
Is there a...
We'll provide it for the next one.
So actually, let's look at Exhibit F here. And so inside Exhibit F, there is a document labeled Citrus County, Florida Notice of Violation Boat Launch Fee. Is this a copy of the document that was mailed to the respondent? I'm asking you.
Yes, it is a copy.
Yes. And who mailed it?
Premium Parking would have to answer that as to who exactly mailed it certified.
But it's your knowledge. You're telling me that Premium Parking sent it.
I believe that Premium Parking has a third party, MPS, that actually mails them certified.
Who mails it?
Our third-party partner, Municipal Parking Systems, they see everything certified.
Let me read Code Section 106-49, subsection 6. At least this is my copy of it. The Citrus County Sheriff's Department, Citrus County Code Enforcement officers, and any other employees of Citrus County designated by the county administrator are authorized to issue civil citations under this ordinance. The Sheriff's Department didn't issue the citation. Code enforcement didn't issue the citation. As best I could see, no employee issued the citation.
Are you looking at the correct?
I see. I don't know. I've got a copy of the ordinance that.
Well, and the ordinance was amended at one point.
Right, and I know it has been amended.
You may not have the current one.
That's
because
why I
what
want to
you
check.
read
I would love to have a copy of it.
doesn't sound correct.
At least that first version doesn't seem. All right, thanks. There we go.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that remedies that issue. Let me just take a closer look. All right. So the modified or final or current version says that Citrus County Code Enforcement officers and any agents of Citrus County designated by the county administrator are authorized to issue notices of violation. So can you give me some evidence that Premium Parking has been designated by the county administrator?
Through an agreement that we have a mutual agreement that the county does have with
We have
contract
with
agreement
Premium
with Premium Parking.
I think that might also be something that should be a composite exhibit at the beginning, frankly, just because it establishes standing and not standing, but just compliance with this section. Just so it's not challenged later on. It's about laying that. You have a lot of potential people who could challenge things. So I'm just thinking, how do we do this? Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Not yet. When we get back to your hearing, we will. And okay, so let me review and make a finding. Okay. I will find that the county has provided competent substantial evidence that Mr. Abramovitz has violated the boat launch ordinance, and pursuant to section 106-49 subsection B, there will be a fine for a first violation of $50 plus any administrative costs. And any other costs provided for by the law. And so that concludes this first hearing. Okay. Are we prepared to reopen Mr. Hayes' case? Or has the county identified the receipt that was showed?
Yes, we're prepared.
Okay. Then let's call back case number, let's see, I forget. 94. Mr. Hay, if you would, come back up to the podium. And what has the county / its agents found?
So we did find a receipt that he did indeed pay for it.
Why was it missed?
I think it was missed because, as he stated earlier, he was pulling a bunch of other boats on there during that time frame, and that's how it was missed. Right.
What does that mean? I guess.
So that means probably pulled the trailer in, we got a hit on the trailer, and backed out. I'm assuming he put another boat in and paid.
I see.
And that's how it's missed, right? So, I mean, depending on how the cameras are.
So it was missed because there were repeat
Correct.
occurrences in a short amount of time?
Correct.
And is it okay, so does he have to pay a new one-time fee for every 15 minutes or something like that?
No, he doesn't. I'm looking at the pictures now with the timestamp. And I went with the timestamp on the cameras, and I looked at our system with the receipt he paid, and I could draw up his receipt and show that he paid at the time he said he was paid.
Okay, yeah.
Right? I mean,
He's a very credible witness, and he's passionate about it. So, but I'm trying to figure out why this happened.
right. And that's why I'm still looking to see the why. But
Okay.
I have looked up and saw his receipt. That he did.
Based on this receipt, has there been a violation as far as the county is concerned, or does the county withdraw its case?
I would withdraw the case.
All right, so
I'm not done yet, though.
well, you might be.
It's more about the system than it is anything. Because if it's a system, I just drove 6 hours up here for this hearing. And if there's a flaw in the system, that's more what I'd like to kind of address.
Well, that's what I'm interested in.
And it's not so, okay, I appreciate it. But like you were talking about the chain of events or who can actually
Right,
issue the citations.
right.
They're using a third party. The third party don't have as far as I know, don't have a contract with Citrus County. So how's a third party issuing citations when they don't have a contract with Citrus County? Unless they do. That's not my lane, but that's for you guys to figure out yourself. Also, this is based off the trailer tag numbers. So every trailer that I backed in had a different tag number. So how did they miss that tag number with that payment when my receipt has that tag number on?
Well, that's
my
what I'm
payment?
asking, right? I mean, you've heard me ask.
That's why I said
I'm a
not-
little confused as to how it was missed. I still don't understand it. It may be moot, unfortunately, for you because
For me, yes, I understand that, but going forward,
Sir,
for
if you don't mind,
everybody else.
it helps if I'm able to finish what I'm saying,
sorry.
and I will absolutely give you the right to be heard. It's a good thing you did show up, because if you hadn't, we would not have discovered this, right? So I'm hoping that your case can be instructive. But the issue here is I just don't know, and I don't know if we're prepared to find out today. But please, I mean, whatever you need to put on the record, you have that right.
I just want my ticket withdrawn. I'm just pointing
It
out
was.
things that
You don't have any obligation, you
maybe
know?
things you needed to address for
Yeah.
future reference.
Yeah,
That's all.
believe me, we do. The case is dismissed, frankly. It was withdrawn. And so there's not going to be any liability for you. You've prevailed, so to speak. And that's that. I think we are going to dig a little bit more into the third party issue on the next case.
I appreciate it. Glad I was able to bring a few things to light, and y'all have a good day. I had a
Thanks.
6-hour ride.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy.
Maybe they'll change the law and they'll call it the Hay Amendment or something, you know? All right, so we've got 2 done. I mean, they'll go faster once we have a handle on everything. So, all right, your next case.
Okay, case number 3.
3?
2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you said 2, so then I just went to 3. My apologies. Case number 2, Jacob Adams, violation number or ID 8045176. I will do that. Thank you, Ms. Kimberly. On October the 16th, 2022, a vehicle with a Florida state tag number PTA P04 was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Gulf Beach. Florida state records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent Jacob Adams. A notice of violation was sent to respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March 15, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. And the county has a packet to provide for backup.
Okay, great.
For this information.
Could you take a look at what's been marked as Exhibit F?
Okay.
Are those documents prepared from information that's in your computer system?
That's correct.
And how is that information, how does it go into your computer system?
These are just camera plate reads. Get the camera going in the system. Everything's reconciled for the payment until the camera reads in the system.
And is that information kept in the ordinary course of your business?
That's correct.
And are those records generated in the ordinary course of your business?
That's correct.
Are they generated automatically and or instantaneously to reflect the information that's kept on them?
That's correct. They're
Right.
done in real time.
Okay.
I'd like to present these and request that they be accepted
Thank you.
into evidence as exhibit.
Okay. Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? Let the record reflect that there is no response. Ah. So let's talk now about Code Section 106-49, subsection F, which talks about Citrus County code enforcement officers and any agents of Citrus County designated by the county administrator. So So does Premium Parking itself issue the notices, or does it hire someone else to do it?
We have a contract with our camera company. You know, we do partnerships all across the United States, and you know, they take a picture of our cameras because they have the relationship and the ability to integrate with the different states DMVs.
I think that satisfies the code section. I don't think that there's a lot of ceremony about who can serve as an agent. The county has obviously designated Premium Parking to be an agent to issue the notices. And it sounds reasonable that they may be able to delegate that. But let me think about that. Well, the delegation of police power is a very sensitive thing. It would make sense that you have to be specific about the delegation of police power authority. Ms. Antrim, what do you think?
Which delegate? You mean delegation of the county to Premium Parking to?
I think that delegating it to Premium Parking is one thing, can be done. It happens all the time. For parking violations, boating, whatever. But usually when you have but it sounds like they in turn have a contract with another party to actually issue the notices. And what the ordinance says is any agents of Citrus County designated by the county administrator to authorize. So the question is, does that encompass any agents of the agent?
Well, part of the contract, I do have the scope of work. Premium Parking is responsible for managing notices of violations. It doesn't specify that there's a subcontractor involved in this contract.
Yeah, I mean, so the county certainly has not identified or contracted with the party that actually issues the notices. But if it's enough to have Premium Parking, or to say something like, you know, to have Premium Parking cause to have issued the notices, that might be sufficient. I hate to stand on ceremony about this stuff. We just, it's important to get the process right before yeah. Go ahead.
So I believe when we started the contract, our municipal parkers, we sent the county a permission that they could actually do that. It's called an inlet stuff that we do with all our municipalities across the country. I could provide that. I'm not sure I have it right now, but that was something that before we went to this venture, that the county signed the authorization form.
I see.
For MPS to go ahead and do that.
Okay.
So
So you're telling me there's a written authorization from the county that actually identifies this third-party company you work with
Absolutely.
to issue the notices?
Absolutely.
I'll accept that. I'd like to see it,
Okay.
But that certainly mollifies any concern I have about the.
And I'm not aware of that myself.
Well, we're all learning.
And I'm not either.
Well, he's sworn oath, and so there's nothing to the contrary, but it will be brought up eventually. Clearly not by another respondent at this hearing, but I like to do things by the book, and I'm satisfied with it for the purposes of this hearing. But I just think we should see it maybe at the next hearing. Leave it to the lawyer to raise things that no one wants to talk about or deal with. All right, so I've admitted this exhibit as Exhibit F in the second, or Case 2 on the agenda. I presume first-time violation?
Yes, first
Alright.
time.
Then I'll find that the county prevails, assess the administrative fine of $50 and any administrative costs that the county has incurred. Okay? Next case.
Next case. Case number 3, Charles Alexander, violation ID 8281371, December 3rd, 2022, in a vehicle with a Florida state tag number 65BELD, was recorded by surveillance cameras launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Hernando Beach. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. Records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent Charles Alexander. A notice violation was sent to respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. And we do have the packet of information.
Okay? You can just walk it up to me.
Do you want,
I'll take
Yes,
it. Unless they want to look at it, I'll
do you
take
want to
it.
look at everything?
Do you want us to have Mr. Dumet identified as a record of premium? I mean, that's what we're doing.
It's a good question. Yeah, I have to.
Okay.
I mean, it may be that you can, yeah, I mean, it may be that you can provide a predicate to be volunteered. For example, he could read off the predicate to the extent that it's accurate without the need to ask you questions. And maybe I'll even take a 5-minute recess after this case so we can do that.
Mr. Dumet, can you look at what's been marked as Exhibit F? And tell us what that is?
Timestamp of violation, the violation details, the license plate read, the violation history of this person, with owner information, the confirmation by the human being that looks at the plate numbers and reads, and notifications of certified mailings, the timestamps, and the copy of the NOD for the board.
Are those records kept in the ordinary course of Premium Apartments business?
They are.
And are they generated in the ordinary course of your business?
Yes.
Thank you. So on the, just for the record, on the business records predicate, I followed the Supreme Court of Florida opinion, Jackson v. Household Finance Corporation, that was issued in 2020, authored by Justice Lawson. It's really it's restated and affirmed the predicate, so that's what I'm going to be following. Do these records, were they generated on or around the incident that it captures?
Could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, do the records that I was just given as proposed Exhibit F, were they generated at or around the time of the event that it discusses?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'll admit Exhibit F. And does the county have anything else?
We do not.
Does anyone from the public want to be heard? All right, then I find an administrative fine of $50 if it's a first time. I'll assume that it's a first time unless you tell me otherwise,
Okay.
okay? And any administrative costs that the county has incurred,
Yes.
and that's it. Okay, what I'm going to do is take a 5-minute recess so that we can just get our bearings on the procedure, possibly write down the business records predicate, and I'm going to blow my nose. All right, 5-minute recess. The time is 2:12-ish, and I'm calling this boat launch hearing back to order. I think we left off at case, are we on 4? Number
Yes.
4 on the agenda?
We are on number
Okay,
4.
about 3 or 4
We're
an hour. We're I don't know if the county budgeted for this, but maybe they're getting a lot of revenue out of these tickets. So I'll let you present your case.
Thank you. Case number 4, All Out Fence Incorporated. Violation number 8249730, November the 26th, 2022. A vehicle with Florida tag QWIU 57 was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Gulf Beach. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent, All Out Fence Incorporated. Notice of violation was sent to responder by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the NOV. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. We do have some information and have a witness with us today, Premium Parking.
Great.
So yeah, this is the exhibit that was made at the time of the person was launching the boat. This is a timestamp from the camera. Also includes where the human being go ahead and take a look at the evidence to verify it. And this is something that we do in our regular practice for violations.
Okay. I don't think that covers all the elements of the business records predicate.
Was this record made at or near the time of the events that appear in it?
Yes, real time.
Okay.
Was this made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
Yes.
And was this kept in the ordinary course of business, of regularly conducted business for this business activity?
Correct.
And is this a regular practice of the business to make such a record?
That's correct.
Thank you.
That certainly satisfies the business records predicate. And so the exhibit will be admitted as Exhibit F. And I will take a look. Thank you.
I did.
Who is Nikki Hahn?
That's a real time event. She's a person who works at NPS that takes a look at
Okay.
all the timestamps.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'll find a violation, assess a first-time fine of $50 and any administrative costs pursuant to the case.
And that administrative cost is $24.88.
It's so assessed. Next case.
Next case, number 5, Bruce Elwood Allen. Violation ID 8080616, October 23rd, 2022, in a vehicle with...
I apologize, I made one mistake. Does anyone from the public want to be heard on the All Out Fence Inc. case? All right, no one does. All right, just have to make sure. Thanks.
October 23rd, 2022, in a vehicle with Florida state tag number I-826WF, was recorded by surveillance cameras launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent Bruce Elwood Allen. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. And we do have some information that will be provided from our witness, Premium Parking.
Great.
So this is the timestamp that was made at the time of the violation. The timestamp was viewed by a person, live person, to verify the information for it to be timestamped. This is something that we do in all our cases when there's a violation for any type of LPR plate violations, and this is a regular practice of our business.
I'll find that to be sufficient and admit it as Exhibit F. Is Ashton Keiss or Keese another person who works at your vendor?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, I find sufficient evidence to determine that there's been a violation, a first-time violation, and assess a $50 administrative fine, plus any administrative costs that the county has, which I presume are $24
And 88 cents.
and 88 cents. So assessed, and that's it.
Thank you. Case number 6, Joseph J. Anderson. Violation ID 8251565, November the 26th, 2022. A vehicle with Florida state tag 31B VLC was recorded by surveillance cameras launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida state records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflect the vehicle was owned by respondent Joseph J. Anderson. A notice of violation was sent to respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing March 15, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the NOV. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period.
He also has a second case before us today, and I'm assuming that that'll be for a second violation.
That's my understanding.
Do you want
that
to
it's
present
within-
both cases at the same time?
I would be happy to.
I mean, I'd ask that just
Yeah,
to make it a little bit more simple because, well, let's see what the evidence shows.
Sure. Case number 7 is also Joseph J. Anderson. Violation ID 8289854, December 4th, 2022. Vehicle with Florida state tag number 31B VLC was recorded by surveillance cameras launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida state records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflect that the vehicle was owned by respondent Joseph J. Anderson. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's second violation within a 6-month period.
All right, and do you have documentation for both these cases?
And we do have documentation that our witness premium parking will verify.
Thank you.
And these are the pictures of timestamps from the violation, which also indicates we had a live person verify the violation of the boat launch. This is something that we do in an ordinary case of business as well. And this is part of our business record.
Is this a record that's made at or near the time of the events that appear in the document?
Beg pardon?
Is this a record that is made at or near the time of the events that appear in the document?
Yes,
Is it made made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
that's correct.
Is it kept in an ordinary course of business?
That's correct.
And is it a regular practice of the business to maintain such a record?
That's correct.
I hate to make you do it.
Hey, I got it.
It's just, you know.
I understand.
Okay. Now, the fine for a first repeat violation is $250?
That's correct.
Okay. And what are the administrative costs on each case
$24.88
for each one?
for each one.
Okay. I have a question about these cases. Does the county have an idea of how many, I'll explain the reason why I'm asking this after, but does the county have an understanding of how many notices of violation have been issued and what percentage of them have been paid prior to the hearing? Does anyone know?
I would have
So,
to.
so we can get that information for you. I don't have the information for you right now, but that's something we can get.
The reason why I'm asking is if it's a very, very, very small number, I would have concerns about it being served correctly because there's no one here. Like, there's a lot of people on this thing. And normally, I mean, it's not that big of a potential fine, but if it's indeed enforceable pursuant to the other chapters, Chapter 19 of the Code and Chapter 162 of the Florida statutes, then there could be implications beyond just a regular fine for what the county can do based on the fine. So if I got a violation, I'd be kind of concerned, maybe like Mr. Hay was. And I mean, is it 10% of people who've paid? You know, is it 50%? Do you have any understanding of the rough proportion of people who, once they get a notice of violation, they end up paying so far?
I'll have to look that up.
You don't have any idea.
It'd be speculation at this point.
That's a very good answer and very fair. Ms. Antrim, does it make sense what I'm asking?
I can ask some more questions because I know some information.
Okay, that'd be great.
Mr. Dumet, when we first started issuing the notices of violations, did you receive a lot of calls?
We did.
And has the rate of calls gone down over time?
Yes. Now that's gone down. What 85% calls have been reduced a lot.
And
since
do you
we
know
first
why
started.
that is?
People are starting to understand the system now. We were lenient in terms of avoiding a lot of the NOVs as well.
And do you believe that the people using the boat launches became more educated on how to use the payment system?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and so I guess it's not really an issue. I just wanted to make sure that these notices were going out and being received. It sounds like they are, based on the questions you asked.
And what, I guess I can ask both of you, Francine and Mr. Dumet, with regard to making sure that you've been tracking the return receipts to make sure that the mail was being received.
Yes. We've been tracking the return receipts as well. Just a reminder, we're going by the trailer or the plate number was registered with the DMV, right? So whatever we pull from the DMV's office,
Right.
that's where the mailing goes to.
And Francine, with regard to the people who you found had not actually received the mailing, the notice of violation, were they removed from the list of cases for today?
I believe what had occurred, if they didn't receive that, they were resent. If we're talking about the December hearing, that they were not sent certified, so they were resent certified and verified for, no one was removed.
Okay,
They
but
were-
you verified they did in fact receive the certified
We
mail.
did.
Yes.
We went on and verified every tracking, and that's also included in this backup information is the tracking verification.
I did see some names on the list that I was surprised to see on the list. Not anyone I would have a conflict of interest with, but for example, one appears to be a well-known lawyer in Ocala.
I noticed that as well.
Yeah, and I'm very surprised, and I do know him, but I was very surprised to see the name. Not necessarily, I mean, who knows? Maybe he missed the sign, or maybe he doesn't care, who knows? But that's part of why I'm asking. It seems odd that he wouldn't have addressed it, or that the other people wouldn't have addressed it, and there's so many names. Anyways, I'm satisfied on the due process issues at this point, so
Okay.
I just wanted to know. All right, so in cases 6 and 7 on the agenda, I'll find that there is a first-time violation for violation ID 8251565. Assess an administrative fine of $50 plus administrative cost of $24.88. And in case 7, violation ID 8289854, assess an administrative fine of $250 plus administrative cost of $24.88, because it is a repeat violation. That's it. Please proceed.
Case number 8, Lisa Anand, Violation ID 7832811, September 2nd, 2022. Vehicle with Florida state tag number ITQ A64 was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's in Homosassa. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent Lisa Anand. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March 15, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. I do have information to be presented from our witness, Premium Parking.
Okay, this is a timestamp of when the violation occurred, which was done in real time when the violation occurred as well. Indicates that the violation was affirmed by a live person as well, and this is done in the ordinary course of business, and it's a regular business practice of what we do.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? I don't see anybody. Exhibit F is admitted. I find a first-time violation fee of $50 and administrative costs, I presume, of $24.88.
Correct.
Okay, it's so assessed.
Thank you.
We're gonna get through 100 of these.
We're
today.
gonna.
No, we're going to.
We're doing
So,
this.
Yeah.
If my voice holds up, we're good. Case number 9, Geraldine Anthony, violation ID A039419, October the 15th, 2022. Vehicle with a Georgia state tag number IT97K90 was recorded by surveillance cameras launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Georgia records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent Geraldine Anthony. A notice of violation was sent to respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. I do have a packet of information for our witness, Premium Parking, to present.
Yes, so this is a timestamp that shows the violation in real time. Also indicates when it was reviewed by a live person to affirm the violation. And this is a part of our ordinary business as well, and it's regular practice on what we do for violations.
Okay. I'll take a look. And so you also, your company has access to the Georgia DMV up there?
Yes.
As well? To all 50 state DMVs?
All states they'll allow for that integration to occur.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, Exhibit F is admitted. I find it sufficient evidence to find a first-time violation and therefore assess a fine of $50 along with administrative costs of $24.88.
Correct.
Okay, that's it for that hearing.
Case number 10, Gordon Austin, violation ID 8411608, December 30th, 2022, in a vehicle with a Florida State Tag ID 53DDKD, was recorded by surveillance cameras launching a watercraft from the county.
Excuse me, sir, you can't leave. You can't leave. You have to stay until 5 o'clock, and you have to sit through 100 of these, just like everybody else. Okay, I'm kidding. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Eric.
But
I
we will all get
appreciate
to know each other very well
We
in the next
will.
few hours.
We
So,
will. County-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle, and the records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent Gordon Austin. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation and within a 6-month period. I do have a packet of information for our witness premium parking to present.
okay.
So this shows a timestamp of the violation that was made in real time and confirmation from a live person to affirm that the violation did occur. This is an ordinary course of business as well, and it's a regular practice of what we do.
Do you recognize these as documents that your company has generated?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. Exhibit F is admitted. This is sufficient evidence to find that the ordinance has been violated for a first-time violation, and an administrative fine of $50 is assessed. And in the future, if you would, tell me your administrative costs when you present your case, and then I can just pop it into my findings. I presume it's $24.88.
$24.88.
Okay.
Correct.
So found, and that concludes case 10. I'll tell you what I'm thinking, which is that as we keep going through, it may be that we get to 4 o'clock and we're on case number, let's say, 84. And what I'd like to do at that point, if we're really behind, is to take up the cases where there's multiple cases per person.
Okay.
Because I think we'll be able to get those done faster than just each individual case.
Each individual.
Sandra, do you have any objection to that?
No.
Okay.
Sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Next case.
Case number 11, Michael Charles Frank Audenrieth, violation ID 8361868, December 18th, 2022. A vehicle with Florida State Tag ICJE57 was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Hernando Beach. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Michael Charles Frank Audenrieth. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent, certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at a hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Our administrative cost would be $24.88.
Thank you.
I do have a packet of information for our witness premium parking to present.
Was that a yawn? Not in this hearing. This is exciting. So please.
That's my intern.
How are we gonna say what school she went to?
University of Florida.
Well, it's on second thought, then
It's not so bad, huh?
not so bad.
Not so bad.
Okay. So in this packet, this shows a timestamp of the violation that occurred in real time. And it's verified by a live person affirming that the violation did occur. This is an ordinary course of business and a regular practice that we do.
Okay.
And is this record made at or near the time of the events occur on it?
Yes,
And is it made by or from information submitted by the person who has knowledge?
that's correct.
Thank you. All right. One thing I appreciate that you do, Mr. Demez, you actually look through the packet before speaking about it, which is something a lot of witnesses don't do when they become accustomed to the evidence. I think that's important to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's not my first rodeo.
You know, I know. Yeah, but it's the people who do it more often that actually,
Or more like-
start kind of taking it for granted.
Right, I understand.
So anyways, all right. And I tried to do the same thing. I find the evidence sufficient to and admit Exhibit F. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this case? Seeing no response, I will assess a first-time fine of $50 plus administrative costs of $24.88. Thank you.
Thank you. Case number 12, Charlotte Back, violation ID 8117148, October 30th, 2022. Vehicle with Florida State tag QPK F08 was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's in Homosassa. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. Records reflect the vehicle was owned by respondent Charlotte Back. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent certified mail directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March 15, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first-time violation with a 6-month period. Our administrative cost would be $24.88.
Thank you.
I have a packet of information for our witness premium parking to present.
So in this package indicates, it shows a timestamp of the license plate number and the violation. And it's been verified by two people to show that the violation is affirmed. This is something we do in our regular business as well, and it's a regular practice that we do as well.
And is the record made at or near the time of the events that occur on it?
Yes,
And is it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
that's correct.
Awesome. So I will admit Exhibit F. I do find it sufficient evidence and therefore assess a first-time administrative fine pursuant to ordinance of $50 plus administrative costs of $24.88. Thank you.
Thank you. Case 13, Zachary Barton. Violation ID 8033014, October 13, 2022. Vehicle Florida State tag CMAX19 was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Gulf Beach. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. Records reflected that the vehicle was owned by respondent Zachary Barton. A notice of violation was sent to respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Our administrative cost would be $24.88. I have a packet of information for our witness premium parking to present.
this packet, this shows a timestamp that was done in real time about the violation and affirmation, which was done by a person that shows that this was actually a valid violation. This is the ordinary course of our business and regular practice what we do in premium parking.
And is this record made at or near the time of the events that occur on it?
Yes,
And is it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
that's correct.
Okay, Exhibit F is admitted, and I find it sufficient evidence to find that there is a violation and therefore assess a administrative fine of $50 plus administrative costs of $24.88.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Case number 14, Robert Batzel, violation ID 8282166, December 3rd, 2022. Vehicle with Florida state tag 943RFA was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. Records reflected the vehicle is owned by the respondent, Robert Batzel. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Our administrative cost would be $24.88. Have a packet of information for premium parking, our witness to present.
Thank you.
Yes, so in this packet, there's a timestamp that shows the violation in real time when it occurred. The violation details have been affirmed by a live person that shows that was in fact a violation. This is something that we do in our regular business model and something that we do in our regular business on a daily basis.
Is the record made at or near the time of the events that occur on it?
Correct,
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
correct,
And is it the regular practice of the business to make such a record?
correct.
Thank you. Well, Cecilia, at least you'll get your steps in. Exhibit F is admitted. Yep, that address is right. All right, I will find that this is sufficient evidence for a first-time violation and assess an administrative fine of $50 along with administrative costs of $24.88. Thank you.
Thank you. Case 15, Glenn Lynn Baum, violation ID 7839016, September 3rd, 2022. Vehicle with Florida state tag 4243JM was recorded by surveillance cameras launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Gulf Beach. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent, Glenn Lynn Baum. A notice of violation was sent to respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. County's administrative cost would be $24.88. I have a packet of information for our witness premium parking to present.
Yes, in this packet, it shows a timestamp of a plate that shows it was violation happening in real time. It was affirmed by a person with knowledge of the case. This is our ordinary business activity and is a regular occurrence as well.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events that occurred on it?
Yes,
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
correct.
You forgot one question,
Um,
which is, do you believe that Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
You asking me?
Oh, I'm asking you.
Absolutely.
All right.
So it's Harry Potter, but you know.
Well,
That starts
wow.
fights.
Now I've heard it all.
That starts
I
fights,
thought
too.
Die Hard was bad. Okay, Exhibit F is admitted, and I find sufficient evidence, despite the credibility of the witness, that to find a first-time violation, administrative fine of $50 with administrative costs of $24.88.
Thank you.
Just so everyone knows, we'll take a brief recess at 3 o'clock. I figure every hour or so, a brief interregnum would be a good idea.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Case number 16, Harry Bell, violation ID 7910818, September 18, 2022. Vehicle with Florida State tag number JTN I98 was recorded on surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflect the vehicle was owned by Harry Bell. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. County's recommended administrative cost, $24.88. Packet of information will be presented by our witness, Premium Parking.
In this packet, this shows a timestamp of the violation that occurred in real time. Also indicates that it was affirmed by a live person. This was kept in an ordinary course of business and is a regular practice of Premium. That's it, thank you.
And the record was made at or near the time of the events that occurred on it?
Yes,
And
that's
it was
correct.
made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
That's correct.
Exhibit F is admitted. I find it sufficient evidence to find a violation and therefore assess an administrative fine of $50, as well as obligate Mr. Bell to pay the administrative costs in the amount of $24.88. Thank you.
Case number 17, Justin Blackketter, violation ID 7889783, September 15, 2022, in a vehicle with Florida State tag number 973RSF, was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's in Homosassa. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Justin Blackketter. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March 15, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Recommended administrative cost, $24.88. Packet of information will be presented by our witness from Premium Parking.
This exhibit shows a timestamp of when the violation occurred in real time. Also indicates that the violation was affirmed by a person with knowledge of the situation. This is part of our ordinary course of business and is a regular practice of what Premium does for violations.
And the record was made at or near the time of the events that occurred on it,
That's correct.
and it was made by or from
Thank you.
information transmitted by a person with knowledge.
That's correct.
I guess I can see why a lot of these folks wouldn't come. You know, they live in cities that are, or states that are pretty far away.
Correct.
All right, Exhibit F is admitted. I find sufficient evidence to determine that there's been a violation and assess a first-time fine of $50 with administrative costs as stated on record.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Case number 18, Patricia Bloxham. Violation ID 7950996, September 26, 2022. Vehicle with Florida State Tag QVB D49 was recorded by surveillance camera launching watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's in Homosassa. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Patricia Bloxham. Notice of violation was sent to respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. County's administrative cost, $24.88. Packet of information will be presented by our witness, Premium Parking.
And this exhibit shows a timestamp of when the violation occurred. Also indicates affirmation by a live person that the timestamp was indeed correct. This is our ordinary course of business and the regular practice what Premium Parking does in regards to violations.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events that occurred on it?
Yes,
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes.
All right, Exhibit F is admitted. There is sufficient evidence to determine that there has been a violation. A fine of $50 is assessed along with administrative costs as stated.
Case number 19, James Bond.
Well, you
Violation.
have some guts going after this guy. Yeah.
Violation ID 7904292, September 17th, 2022. Vehicle with Florida State Tag IT74JB was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Gulf Beach. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent James Bond. A notice of violation was sent to respondent by certified mail directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. County's administrative cost, $24.88. Packet of information will be presented by witness Premium Parking.
And this exhibit It shows the time step of the violation that was done in real time. The violation was affirmed by a live person as well. This is an ordinary course of business and it's regular practice for premium parking, and the owner information was sent to a bond, a James Bond. Thank you.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events that occurred on it?
Yes,
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes,
And it's a regular practice to maintain such a record?
yes, that's correct.
It is odd that he would allow his address to be public, especially in this day and age, but. All right, Exhibit F is admitted. I find this sufficient evidence to determine that Mr. Bond has committed a violation here in Citrus County, and a license to kill doesn't get you out of it. There's no exception in the ordinance. So, first time fine of $50 along with administrative costs as stated.
Thank you. Case number 20, Jacqueline Bradley,
I'm gonna
violation.
stop you.
I'm sorry.
It's
Is it
3
time?
o'clock,
Is
so
it
I
time?
will just adjourn for 5 minutes so everyone can take a bathroom break if they need. Find some good jokes to put on the record. I can't do it all by myself. We'll be back at 5. All right. The time is 3:07, and I call this hearing back to order.
Okay, so we're going to have to move to case 23, Sherry Brown.
Why?
We are discovering that some of our cases, their tracking numbers that we do have verification from are still in transit, still in delivery. So some of these cases on our agenda had not actually been received yet.
You know, it's interesting. In November, December, and January, my office put out 1,088 certified mailings to people in St. Johns County. And what we found was a huge number of them were not getting delivered. I mean, a huge number. And I don't know why. And the post office, we were in regular contact with them, and what they said was, well, we're busy right now. It's Christmas season, so we're overburdened. But we also had that problem a year prior when it wasn't Christmas season on a project where we mailed 780 people in St. Johns County. It was a big government FEMA project that we were doing. And it still has never been explained to me how this could happen. I don't know if it's because we're bulk mailing, but each individual envelope had the green certified label on it. And do you have any concerns for the cases that we've already decided?
I do.
Okay.
I'm going for them right now.
Okay. Let's think about this. So let me review the ordinance.
That's weird. Said a bunch of stealing.
Hmm?
You said you sent a bunch out. You never got delivered?
That's what's happening right now. They've been sorting the whole time. They weren't received.
So does that include notices of violation? So the notice of hearing is with the notice of violation, correct?
Correct.
So these people who haven't received it may neither be aware of the violation nor of the hearing.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that would explain a great many things, which is why I kept asking so many questions about it.
But they were sent certified through like 2 different parties, right? Like some were sent out, we have a mailing service, and some I did myself
Yeah,
personally too. So that's just
that won't matter.
Right,
I mean,
but
and
I'm
it
just
didn't.
saying-
Yeah.
the process. I'm not sure why.
And it didn't matter for us either. We used a website called certifiedmaillabels.com, and we're able to print those labels in bulk. So we would print 200 a week or so,
Right.
slap them on the envelope, send them out.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd say that 80% got delivered, but 20% not being delivered is a pretty big number when you
Right.
think about it. All right, so, but you have verification that number 23 has been received.
We do.
All right, let's go to 23.
Case number 23, Sherry Brown, violation ID 8410. And I apologize, these lights are really starting to affect my eyes.
Yeah, yep. Nothing like natural light, but
Yeah, it really is. I'm getting a terrible glare, so. 841009, on December 30th, 2022, vehicle with Florida's tag number IG00UZ was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent Sherry Brown. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. County's administrative cost, $24.88, and I have a packet of information for our witness premium parking to present.
do you have any documentation to confirm the certified mailing?
We do. We have the tracking information, and it indicates delivery.
Is that in the packet?
It is in the packet.
Okay, great. And on the cases that I've presided over where they don't have delivery, what does that document show regarding the certified mailing? I mean, do you know? What
It
does
shows
It's-
they're either still in transit or
Or undelivered.
So this is in
Some
the
of-
evidence?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
well, then I missed
I'm
it, yeah. I
going
mean,
through it and we'll,
yeah, no, I know, we'll do the right thing.
yeah.
I just, I want to make sure that look at it, that I direct my attention to it so
Right.
I don't miss it. All right, thank you.
The issue was one party thought the other party was checking after the printing, after the documents were printed, but
That makes sense.
that wasn't what happened.
No, processes are difficult. I mean, there's a reason why, you can take possession and ownership of an aircraft carrier, but if you don't know how to run it and you don't have the processes for running it, then it'll take you 20 years to establish an aircraft carrier program, and that's why China barely has any right now. It's all about processes.
Some of your doubles, they asked for one, but they didn't get served the second one, so you have to pay attention to the number which one you're talking about, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
So we're talking about Exhibit F in Case 23 for Sherry L. Brown.
Okay, so in this exhibit, indicates a timestamp that happens in real time with the violation. The violation was affirmed by a real-life person, officer as well. This is kept in the ordinary business practice, and it's a regular business practice of premium when we send out violations.
And this record was made at or near the time of the events that appear on it,
That's correct.
and it was made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge.
That's correct.
Exhibit F is admitted as evidence. Okay, so I see the tracking info. All right, so let's be more clear as well about what's in this exhibit. I mean, so Mr. Dumet, did your company print this USPS tracking information?
No.
Okay. So it's not a business record that is from your possession.
No.
Well, that's a problem. Where's it from?
We, the county, verified the tracking number that was provided from Premium Parking, and then we went into the system and printed the document.
Can you, do you have personal knowledge about how this document was generated? The USPS tracking information?
I do not. We just log into the UPS.
Well, yeah, how did you get it? Tell me how you got this.
If is Cecilia
Are you
able?
sworn in?
She's the one that.
Are you sworn in?
Yes, sir.
You sworn in?
No, she
No,
can
she
testify.
haven't
Oh.
sworn in
She's the
Your,
secretary.
Your Honor, if I could perhaps inquire.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. How do you track certified mail?
through a tracking number that
And how do you obtain the tracking number?
we obtained it through Premium Parking, provided it to us.
And how did they obtain it? Who issues the tracking number?
The Postal Service would have provided the tracking number to Premium when they went and
Provided it to the county?
provided the mail
Okay.
out, the certified mail.
So, once you have that tracking number, how do you track a document through the U.S. Postal Service?
You provided a tracking number, and
Please listen to the question. Once you have that number, pay attention. Once you have that number, how do you go on to the United States Postal Service and track your package?
we just logged into the US.
Yeah, no, it's common sense. That's why you're having
I've
a hard
never
time with
done
the
it,
question.
really. I mean, I personally don't deal in.
She doesn't have personal knowledge.
Right. So, do you understand the question?
No, I do, but I don't have personal knowledge of tracking a certified mailing personally.
You've never logged into the USPS website to put the number in and
I
say,
have-
hey, where is this
I
thing?
have not.
Okay,
I have not.
and that's fine. You don't have to. You don't have to. Look, the reason why we're now bogged down on this is because Mr. Demet testified that everything in this packet was a business record from them, and it's not. This USPS tracking thing was added to it. So what I need, it's not a crime. This is just an evidentiary thing we have to walk through. Let me just look. I mean, I have no reason to doubt the authenticity of this document, none whatsoever. So let me just take a look. Yeah, and the tracking number matches what is in the business record. So the business records note the tracking number, and they give an estimated delivery time as well as what's called a print mail time. And yeah, okay. And in fact, it seems to have been delivered before the estimated delivery time, which is good. I just want to think about how this should be properly admitted.
Initial delivered?
The best thing to do would be for some kind of when the county presents its part of the case and says that it's had good service or whatever, then you should discuss the tracking document. It should probably be a separate exhibit. If that makes sense. I don't want Mr. Demet to testify to it if it's not a business record of his company. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
All right, so I'm going to admit it all as Exhibit F. In this case, Composite Exhibit F, featuring records from both the county as well as Premium Parking. And I will find that there is sufficient evidence for a first-time fine in case 23 of $50 and administrative cost of $24.88. Okay?
Okay. Our next case, number 24, Timothy Brown. Violation ID 8298824. December 6, 2022. Vehicle with Florida tag CC6889. was recorded on surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Timothy Brown. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by the certified mail, directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to the county, $24.88. I do have a packet of information for premium parking to present. I will note that the county has provided the tracking information indicating that it was delivered, individual picked up at the post office.
That's good for me.
In this exhibit, it shows a timestamp of the violation with LPR system, the license plate number. Also indicates that the violation was affirmed by a person in real time. This is ordinary course of our business activity and the regular practice that premium does in terms of violations.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events that appear on the record?
That's correct.
And were the records made by an individual with knowledge?
That's correct.
Okay. Exhibit F is admitted as evidence. And I see that you've separated the USPS tracking information. Is that going to be Exhibit G?
That will be Exhibit G, if
Okay.
accepted.
Yeah. I mean, is anyone from the public wanting to be heard on this case? No? Okay. This document is accepted as Exhibit G. I find sufficient information and valid service. A first-time administrative fine of $50 is assessed, along with administrative costs of $24.88. Thank you.
Thank you.
And let's present 25, 26, and 27 at once.
So
So
we-
what I'm suggesting, essentially, and sorry, what I'm suggesting is that in every case, you're essentially saying the same thing, right? Because you wouldn't be presenting the case otherwise. And what I think you could do is say, for, violation numbers 812, 4268, 814, 2930, 82, 93, 450, that this is what I'm about to say is true for all three of these cases.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does?
And that's why we're still going to do 100 cases today. And we're going to do that for the the repeat cases. Does that make sense?
It does.
All right. So I'll let you, look, at the end of the day, you can present it however you want to.
No, I appreciate
This is just
the
my
feedback.
suggestion. I don't think it prejudices the respondent in any way. They're not here. I will be able to tell the difference and look at the evidence separately, so I want you to feel comfortable that your processes are being respected. I
Okay.
will look out for the respondent and check the evidence, but that's what I recommend doing.
So I wish I could do those three, but I do need
Oh.
to skip.
Oh, really? Okay.
I do. We do need to go to case 30.
Okay.
Sorry.
So,
Would you have 48 and 49 or 51 and 50?
yeah, I think we should, just to make sure. We've got an hour and a half
Do you have
left.
those? Colin and Davis?
Sorry. Colin, we do not have Davis. We have one. We don't have the other Downs. We have
Okay.
2 and Elliott. We have 2.
Downs and Elliott?
I
Well,
have to find my note.
then let's not skip for now. I'll let them figure out what repeat cases we actually have. Have you ever seen Star Trek Generations?
I probably have. I don't follow them.
Well,
but
there's
I-
a scene where early on in the movie, our real hero, Captain Kirk,
Yes.
who should have been the captain of this Enterprise. But anyways,
Okay.
you know, they're about to take the new Enterprise out, all right, for a shakedown cruise with this green captain who doesn't know what he's doing, Captain Harriman. And every time they realize they need a medical crew, they're like, oh, they're not actually coming till Tuesday. And then they realize they need photon torpedoes. Well, guess what? The photon torpedoes aren't being installed until Tuesday. So, you know, these things happen when you do shakedown cruises, even of beautiful new starships named Enterprise. So it happens. But all right, so we're going to case 30.
Yes, case 30, Christopher Byers, violation ID 7833639, September 2nd, 2022, vehicle with Florida tag. Oh, these numbers are getting difficult. 314BYV. Recorded on a surveillance camera launching the watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's in Homosassa. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Christopher Byers. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to the county, $24.88. Packet of information that'll be presented by witness premium parking. County does have a verification of tracking of the certified mail, indicating delivered to the front desk or reception of their mailroom.
I'll accept the USPS mailing as Exhibit G. Does anyone want to be heard from the public on this? Okay.
Thank you.
And this exhibit, this shows a time stamp of the violation. The time stamp of the violation has been approved by a person, showing that the violation is correct. This is our ordinary course of business, and is a regular practice of premium parking does in regards to violations.
And is the record made at or near time of the events that appear on it?
That's correct.
And was the record made by an individual with knowledge or the ability to transmit the knowledge of the events that appear on it?
That's correct.
All right. Exhibit F is also admitted. I'd sure like to see Exhibit G if you've got it. And based on Exhibit G, I find valid service and therefore assess a first-time administrative fine of $50 along with administrative costs of $24.88. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we have actually had a transition with an emergency. We're going to have a second witness sworn in when we get to that
Yeah.
portion.
Sure.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you shall give to the court in this matter shall be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay.
Great.
We're on case number 33.
33. Okay.
William Capo Bianco, violation ID 7944558, September 25th, 2022. Vehicle with Florida state tag number 81AJLR. recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft for the county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's in Homosassa. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, William Capobianco. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by the certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. County's administrative cost, $24.88. Packet of information will be that's presented, provided by Premium Parking and presented. County does have verification. No, I do not. Where did the tracking go for this one? Yeah, I thought so. Oh, you've already separated. I apologize. For Exhibit G, the county does have a verification of the tracking for this information.
Great. And if you want, while he's looking through that, I'll take Exhibit G. Exhibit G is admitted. Does Citrus County still have fireflies?
I have them at my
Yes.
house.
You do?
They're at my house.
That's good news.
They
Until the
still-
mosquito trucks come by.
Yeah. They eat all the larvae.
Okay, in this exhibit, it shows a timestamp that was done in real time with a violation. The timestamp was verified by a live human being. And this is an ordinary business.
It's good that it's a live human being.
Right.
I mean,
right.
if you're using other ones, we've got a real problem on our hands.
But that's another story.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, I'll explain it to you a little bit later. It is a regular business practice. Right. Which is actually important, right? Because, you do get like misreads with camera stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So that's why instead you're sitting
No,
out
I-
like red light cameras.
That makes sense.
We want to make sure it's done correctly by a live human being.
I just have to keep myself entertained a little bit.
I
So,
understand.
Was the record made at or near the time of the events that appear on it?
That's correct.
And was it made by an individual with knowledge of the information appearing in it or the ability to transmit the information that appears in it?
That's correct.
Exhibit F is admitted. It's sufficient evidence, along with Exhibit G, to find a basis for a first-time administrative fine of $50, administrative cost of $24.88. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be reviewing case 35,
Okay.
Dalton Cole Chaston. Violation ID 8079671, October 23rd, 2022. A vehicle with Florida state tags number 51BZUQ was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Dalton Cole Chaston. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost of the county, $24.88. Packet of information provided by Premium Parking will be presented. County will be providing the UPS tracking as Exhibit G.
Sure.
And Ms. Francine, can you just clarify for the record what that tag number was?
For case number 35, my apologies, BB41XL. Thank you for verifying that or
That's correct.
catching me on that one.
Exhibit G is admitted. What kind of fireflies? Are they green flashing, yellow flashing, orange flashing?
When I see them land, they're more of the greenish.
Greenish. That's a Photurus genus. Oh, yeah.
Are they special?
No, but the females do eat the males when they land.
Ah,
Yay.
Like humans.
A lot we can learn
All
from the
right.
Fireflies.
And John-Luc Picard is actually the real captain.
It's okay.
Not in this hearing.
Okay, all right, here we go.
Because of the
Not
white.
here,
All the
okay?
white. The white.
I'd court-martial him if I could, but,
Jean-Luc?
oh yeah.
No, like, all right, go ahead.
But I appreciate you know who he is.
Yeah,
I don't know if everyone in this room does. So that counts for something.
well, you know.
Yeah.
Frenchman, you know. I have a
Okay.
French name, so I go with the French.
Okay.
That's why.
Mhm.
So, in this exhibit, it shows a timestamp that occurred in real time of the violation. It was affirmed by a human being that was also alive. This is also kept in ordinary course of our business activity, and is a regular practice of premium parking when we go ahead and give out notice of violations.
Okay.
And was the document in front of you made by an individual with knowledge or of the events that appear on it?
We.
And that was yes, in French, I believe.
I was able to translate that one.
Okay.
Okay.
And was it made at or near the time of the events that appear in the document?
C, which is yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And more of a recognized language here in Florida than
Right.
French is. Exhibit F is admitted, and it's sufficient evidence to determine that there has been a violation. I therefore assess a first-time violation administrative fine of $50 along with administrative costs of $24.88.
Case number 36, Jonathan Sahal, violation number 8249677, November 26, 2022, vehicle with Florida state tag number 51BZUQ was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Jonathan Sahal. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. And this is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to the county, $24.88. Premium parking will presenting the information they've provided. County would like to submit Exhibit G of the tracking individual, indicating delivered individual picked up at the post office.
Okay. I'll admit Exhibit G. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this case? Thank you. Okay, let the record reflect there is no response. In fact, the world's foremost expert on fireflies used to teach at the University of Florida. His name was James Lloyd, and unfortunately he passed away a few years ago, but he actually figured out why fireflies do the things they do, their mating patterns and everything. It was kind of interesting.
Write that down. James Lloyd, firefly expert.
You should write it down.
Florida.
James, like Wright, James Lee Wright?
No, it's just Dr. James Lloyd. He had free articles published in Nature. Most scientists, go their whole lives trying to get one published, and he had several. But
Interesting. So in this exhibit, it shows a timestamp of a violation that occurred in real time. The timestamp was verified by a person. This is the ordinary course of premium business and our everyday activity that we do in terms of giving out violations.
Was the record that you just reviewed created at or near the time of the events that appear on it?
Yes,
And was it made by an individual with knowledge of the events that appear in it?
yes,
And is it a part of the normal course of business to prepare such a document or such information?
yes.
Exhibit F is admitted. No, it is odd when you look at the tracking information. So this was, according to Exhibit F, the document was put into certified mail on November 28th. The first note on the tracking information is December 15th, over 2 weeks later, saying that it arrived at a USPS facility in Tampa. Then it went to Orlando, Lake Mary, Altoona, and it was picked up in Altoona on December 27th. So it took a month.
We noticed a lot of them going through Louisiana.
It's interesting. Okay. Nonetheless, this is sufficient evidence to determine that there has been a violation on case 36, and a fine of $50 is assessed along with administrative costs as stated. That's weird.
Case number 43. Marissa Mary Cobb. Violation ID 8320872.
Actually, if you don't mind, ma'am, sorry. Have we been able to determine how many of the prior cases we're going to have to vacate?
Yes.
How many? If you, I just want to do it before we run out of time. And
But not Mr. Bass.
yeah. Can we put those cases on the record? Oh, I do. Yeah. If you don't
These
mind.
are the good ones,
Okay.
and these are it's the ones I marked through.
Okay. The ones that you marked through. Okay. So for the record, I'm going to vacate my findings and order in case numbers 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 13, 15, 16, 17. Basically, 2/3 of the cases up to case number 18. And the last names are Abramovitz, Alexander, All Out Fence, Inc., Allen, Anand, Anthony, Austin, Barton, Baum, Bell, Blackgetter. All right, so that's done. I won't need orders on those cases. So now we're going on to case 43.
43, yes.
All right.
Marissa Mary Cobbs. Violation ID 8320872. December 10th, 2022. Vehicle with a Florida state tag HDDT92 was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Marissa Mary Cobb. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding this notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Cost to the county, administrative cost to the county, $24.88. Packet of information provided by Premium Parking will be reviewed. County would like to submit Exhibit G with the tracking information indicating it was delivered and left with an individual.
Okay. I'll admit Exhibit G. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this case? Let the record reflect there is no response. Sacramento, California.
That one got there.
Yeah.
Okay, in this exhibit, it shows a timestamp that occurred in real time, with the timestamp of the violation. The information was verified by two human beings this time, live ones as well. Yeah. And this is the ordinary course of our business, and it's the regular practice of premium to issue notice of violations in this manner.
Was the document or informational document recorded at or near the time of the events that appear on it?
Yes,
Was the document created by an individual who has knowledge of the information exhibited on the document?
yes.
Okay. All right. This is Exhibit F is admitted. This is sufficient evidence to determine that there has been a violation, and a first-time administrative fine of $50 is assessed, along with administrative costs of $24.88. Thanks.
Thank you. Case number 45, Michael Kosha, violation ID number 8299329, December 6, 2022, vehicle with Florida state tag BD04KR, was recorded by the surveillance camera launching a watercraft with a county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's in Homosassa. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. Records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Michael Kosha. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March 15, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding this notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. County administrative cost, $24.88. Packet of information will be presented by Witness Premium Parking. Citrus County would like to submit Exhibit G indicating tracking information that it was delivered and left with an individual.
Exhibit G is admitted. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this case? Let the record reflect that there is no response. This kind of reminds me of baseball. You know, baseball is, and you guys have to listen to all the random things I say, so this is great. You're prisoners. But anyways, and no one's even paying Isabella probably to listen to this, so that's I feel bad.
Educational.
Yeah, that's all right, education. So baseball is a game of patience, and a lot of times it's just repetitive, and you have to wait if you're in the outfield, and if you're batting, you know, but day by day, 162 games in a season, it's a long time. It seems repetitive, but every now and then there's a no-hitter. Every now and then there's a grand slam, and I'm sure we'll encounter some special nuggets in here. So we'll keep panning the cases. But anyways,
Okay.
I do this for our viewers on YouTube.
Okay,
If
great.
they, all our viewers. Yeah.
This exhibit shows a timestamp of violation that occurred in real time. The violation was affirmed by a human being. This is ordinary course of business activity, and this is a normal business practice of premium parking in regards to issuing notice of violations.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events that appear on it?
Yes,
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes.
Exhibit F is admitted. This is sufficient evidence to determine that there's been a violation in case 45. A first-time administrative fine of $50 is assessed along with administrative costs as stated on record.
Thank you. Next case, 46, David Cousins. Violation ID number 8401907, December 28th, 2022. Vehicle with the Florida State tag, let me get lined up here, AN07YC, was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at the Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. Records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, David Cousins. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. County administrative cost, $24.88. County has been provided a packet of information from our witness, Premium Parking. County would like to present Exhibit G, which indicates the tracking number of the certified mailing was delivered and left with an individual.
Exhibit G is admitted. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this case? No, there is not. Thank you.
She asked if I wanted to go be a member of the public for a bit.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome to. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say.
So this violation shows a timestamp of the violation when it occurred in real time. The violation was affirmed by a human being, and this is the ordinary course of business activity, and this is a regular business practice of Premium Parking in regards to issuing notice of violations.
Was the record made at or near the time of the events to appear on it?
Yes,
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes.
Exhibit F is admitted. This is sufficient evidence to determine that a violation has occurred. First time administrative fine of $50 along with administrative costs as stated is assessed. Now, I have a question about continuing the cases that will remain on the agenda because I don't know if it's a good idea to necessarily continue all of them to the next hearing if you don't have service and you don't know when you're going to get service, but it's up to you. I'll continue them all. I just want you to think about it.
And the thing is, how long is it going to take to get started?
Well, exactly. It may never get there. And I'll tell you again, my experience is I even did remailings in the winter on the addresses that I couldn't get to, hundreds of them, and I still didn't get through with they have an elevated delivery service beyond certified, which is like express something that's overnight. It's $14 an envelope, and still didn't get there in all cases. So I just want you to think about it as we move forward, because once it gets towards, I mean, do you want to run till 5 o'clock? Okay.
I'm open to it. I mean, yeah, the more we can get done, the less,
Yeah,
Which
right,
is key.
right. And frankly, the less cost there is for me, for the county, which I think is good. But I think we need to have a strategy for that. And
Yes, and it's a matter too of, we know who we had service on. So we know we'll get service on them of the new date.
you will?
Well,
You
and
know that?
ironically, some of the people we got serviced on, for one, they didn't pick up service for the other one.
Because by then,
That's
there are
interesting.
mailings that are being sent out, regular mail, that
Right.
aren't coming back. So
Well, that's the
some
other
of
thing.
these cases we can, where there's been multiple attempts to get service, we can establish their dodging service.
Well, so with certified, you have a signature. I don't know if you're requiring a signature or not, but I mean, you can do certified without a
No,
signature.
I think we're doing it without a signature, but they are having to at least pick it up.
That's correct. And we have an ability to send out certified, and after it goes out certified, we have the ability in the system to send out 2 regular mailings too.
I mean,
So-
you also have registered mail as an option, right? Where it doesn't.
I think we have to go, the statute.
Oh,
says
the
certified.
ordinance.
The
Right.
ordinance says,
Uh-huh.
the ordinance says that's why it's
So the
certified.
ordinance tracks the statutes, and the statutes say certified, or hand delivery, or served by a sheriff.
If you want to go on vacation, we might have somebody in California.
Unless we
or
post them all at.
Rocky Mountains.
I don't know if we can
I don't-
post
I don't know
these.
that you can post these either.
That's interesting. Well, again,
Well,
though,
we still have to make the attempt to get service in order to post.
yeah. I mean, let's say that I continue these. I mean, we haven't figured out the date yet, but it doesn't look like it'll be in April because of conflicts and stuff. It looks
And
like
I
it'll
don't think it should, based on these.
exactly.
meetings. Yeah.
But even if we send it to May, I mean, this is going to be tricky to obtain service. But anyways, I'll leave that in your hands. It's no matter for the special master. I just wanted to bring it up. All right. What's the next case?
Case number 5050, Janet Davis. Violation number 8319555, December 10th, 2022. Vehicle with a North Carolina state tag. AH52874 was recorded by surveillance cameras launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. North Carolina records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. Records reflected that the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Janet Davis. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Cost to the county, $24.88 in administrative cost. Packet of information provided by Premium Parking will be presented by Premium. Citrus County would like to submit Exhibit G of verifying the tracking that it was delivered and left with an individual.
Exhibit G is admitted. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard? Nope. Thank you.
And this exhibit indicates a timestamp that occurred in real time of the violation. The timestamp was approved by a live human being. This is the ordinary business activity, and this is a regular practice that Premium Parking does in terms of in regards to issuing notices of violations.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events that occurred in the document?
Yes,
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes.
Exhibit F is admitted and is sufficient evidence to determine that there has been a violation. First-time admin fine of $50 along with administrative costs is assessed. Thank you.
Okay, I know Mary Davis has 2 here, but I only have verification of her being certified. Case number 52, Mary A. Davis, violation number 7996617. This occurred on October the 6th, 2022. Vehicle with a Florida state tag QXTS34 was recorded by the surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Gulf Beach.
Does the county, I think before the county presents this case, it needs to consider something, which is that according to the violation numbers, this would actually be a repeat violation. But if you proceed with the case today, I'm only going to find that it's a first-time violation. You will not get the repeat violation fine once you do present the first case. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's your strategic decision. I don't think the county will live or die based on whether it's a repeat fine or not, but it's up to you.
To proceed?
Yes.
We'd like to proceed
Okay.
with this and
Right.
resolve this.
Sure.
That way she'll, if she uses the boat ramp again, she'll.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
Okay, we'll proceed. Thank you. So Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected that the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Mary A. Davis. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This would be the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to the county, $24.88. Packet of information provided by Premium Parking will be presented. County would like to submit Exhibit G indicating tracking that was delivered to the individual and picked up at the post office.
Exhibit G is admitted. Thanks. Is there anyone from the public who's going to want to be heard on this case? Nope. We'll take a recess after this.
In this exhibit, it shows a timestamp of the violation that occurred in real time. The violation was verified by a live human being. This is an ordinary course of business and a regular activity that Premium Parking does in regards to issuing notice of violations.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events that appear on it?
Yes,
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes.
Exhibit F is admitted. This is sufficient evidence to determine that there has been a violation. I will assess it as a first-time violation for an administrative fine of $50 along with administrative costs as stated on record. And time is almost 4:05. I'm just going to do a 5-minute recess. We'll be back.
At hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to the county, $24.88. Information provided by Premium Parking will be presented by Premium. Citrus County would like to present Exhibit G indicating the certified mailing was received, delivered, and left with an individual.
Exhibit G is admitted. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this case? The record reflect there is no one. I saw that. Yeah, that was a yawn as well. Please?
You did accept.
Yep.
In this exhibit, it shows a license plate timestamp of the violation that occurred in real time. The violation was affirmed by a human being, so the violation has been approved or verified, more or less. This is ordinary course of business that we do at Premium, and this is a regular practice of issuing notice of violations.
Was the record made at or near the time of the events that appear on it?
Yes,
And was the record made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes.
Okay, so this shows two different mailings. Is that why would that be?
What were the date?
One was October 27th and one was November 27th.
Is that Mary Davis?
No, sometimes they got two notices.
This is
That's the first and second.
Dietz. I think this is Dietz.
Oh, William Dees.
Yeah.
It was probably, there's two notices were sent out. One was certified, the other one was sent out like regular.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right.
Now, neither of them have tracking numbers, but it's sometimes the software shows the number, sometimes it doesn't. Nonetheless, this is sufficient evidence. Exhibit F is admitted, and I will find that there should be a one-time or a first-time administrative fine of $50 along with administrative costs as stated on the record. Thanks.
Thank you. Confirm, got the right case. Donald Donnelly. Next case, 55, Donald Donnelly. Violation number 8469514, January the 12th, 2023, in a vehicle with a Florida state tag number AH29NA, was recorded by the surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at the Ford Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. Records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Donald Donnelly. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing respondent to pay the launch fee or to appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to Citrus County, $24.88. Packet provided by Premium Parking will be reviewed and witnessed by them. Citrus County would like to request submitting Exhibit G with the tracking information indicating delivered and left with the individual.
Exhibit G is admitted. Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard? There's no response. Thank you.
In this exhibit, timestamp shows that a violation occurred in real time. The timestamp violation was verified by a human being. This one was live as well. This is the ordinary course of business, and this is a standard business, normal business activity of the ways notice of violations are distributed to violators.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events that appear on it?
Yes.
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
Yes.
And it's the ordinary course of business to maintain this type of record?
Yes.
Exhibit F is admitted. This is sufficient evidence to determine that there has been a violation. A first-time administrative fine of $50 is assessed along with administrative costs as put on the record.
Thank you. Case number 56, Double D Hospitality LLC, violation number 8326386. December 11th, 2022, vehicle with a Florida state tag Y921LL was recorded by surveillance cameras launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Ford Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Double D Hospitality LLC. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or to appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding this notice of violation. The respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to Citrus County, $24.88. Packet of information will be explained by Premium Parking. Citrus County would like to present and submit Exhibit G regarding the tracking of the certified mailing, indicating delivered individual picked it up at the post office.
Exhibit G is admitted. Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard? Nope. Thank you.
This exhibit, timestamp of the violation is shown. The violation was verified by a human being. This is a ordinary course of business activity, and this is a normal business activity in regards to issuing of notice of violations.
Was the record made at or near the time of the events that appear on it?
Yes,
Was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes.
Exhibit F is admitted as evidence. This is sufficient evidence to determine that a violation has occurred. A first-time violation fine is assessed of $50 along with administrative costs as put onto the record.
Thank you. The next case actually has 2 violations that I would like to present
Great.
with the similar information. 57 and 58 are the case numbers. Individual Daniel Downs. First violation 810-1730. Second violation 812-6057. First violation occurred October the 27th, where a vehicle with the Florida tag number 523QRF was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at the Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Daniel Downs. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's. The first one being discussed here so far is the first violation within 6 months. The second violation, 812-6057, would make this the second violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to the county would be $24.88 per violation. We do have a packet of information to present on each individual violation. There are separate tracking information. The county would be presenting 2 separate ones as Exhibit G. The first violation was delivered to an individual and picked up at the post office. And the second tracking to be submitted in exhibit as Exhibit G was delivered and left with an individual.
Okay.
Premium Parking will be presenting both packets of information for both of these violations.
Both Exhibit Gs are admitted as evidence. Is there anyone who wishes to speak from the public on either case? Nope.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So both exhibits show the same plate number was issued a timestamp in real time. Both violations were verified by a live person. This is the ordinary course of business activity, and this is regular practice in regards to premium issuing notice of violations.
Was the record made at or near the time of the events that appear on it?
Yes.
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person who has knowledge?
Yes.
And is that true for both sets of records?
Yes. True
Okay.
for both sets of records.
All right, this is Exhibits F are both admitted in each case. I'm sorry, each Exhibit F is admitted for the relevant case to which it's been suggested. In case number 57, there's sufficient evidence to determine that a first-time administrative fine of $50 with administrative costs as put on the record should be assessed. And as for the second case, 58, there shall be a repeat fine of $250 along with administrative costs as stated on the record.
Okay, case numbers 61 and 62 will be presented together, as it is the same respondent. First violation number 8197606. Second violation 8242377. First violation occurred November the 14th, 2022. Second violation November the 24th, 2022. Vehicle tag number 93BETD, Florida state tag, was recorded by the surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located both from McRae's in Homosassa. The Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, David G. Elliott. A notice of violation was sent to the respondent certified mail for both violations, directing a respondent to pay the launch fee or to appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding either notice of violation. Respondent has not paid either launch fees. This would be the respondent's first and second violation within a 6-month period. It would be an administrative cost to the county, $24.88 per violation. Packet of information provided by Premium will be presented. County would like to submit Exhibit G for each violation, indicating first violation, it was delivered individual, picked up at the post office. Second violation, delivered individual, picked up at the post office.
Both Exhibits G are admitted. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on either case? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Both exhibits showed violations. They had a timestamp that was done in real time showing the violation. Each violation was approved by a live person. This is a ordinary course of business activity, and this is a regular business practice that Premium does in regards to the issuance of NOVs, notice of violations.
Was the record made at or near the time of the events that appear on it?
Yes,
Was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes,
And this is true for both sets of records?
yes, that's correct.
Okay. Both Exhibit Fs are admitted as evidence, and from them they are sufficient to determine that 2 violations have occurred. The first one in case number 61, there will be an administrative fine of $50 with administrative costs as stated assessed. For case number 62, There will be a first-time repeat violator fine assessed at $250 along with administrative costs as stated on the record. Thanks.
Thank you. Case number 65, this is with Greg William Erb. He does have 2 other violations. However, we do not have proof of him being notified via certified mail, but I do have proof of received certified mail for case violation number 8429617. This is case 65, January 3rd, 2023. Vehicle with a Florida state tag 12BWAT was recorded by the surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's in Homosassa. Florida state records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Greg William Erb. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or to appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is would be the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to Citrus County, $24.88. Premium parking will present as a witness of the packet of information. Citrus County would like to submit Exhibit G, indicating that the certified mail was delivered and left with an individual.
Mr. Erb really does not want to pay your launch fee. There's some people on your agenda who seem like they hate it even more, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you have the Exhibit Gs?
I do have Exhibit G that does indicate it was delivered and left with the individual.
And this is just for one case?
Just for the
Which one is it again?
It would be case 65.
65, okay.
8429617.
All right. Exhibit G is admitted. Thank you.
And this exhibit, this indicates a violation occurred. It's a time stamp on the exhibit, which was done in real time. The time stamp was verified by 2 live human beings this time. And it's an ordinary course of business, and it's a regular practice of premium parking in regards to issuing notice of violation.
Thank you.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events that appear on it?
Yes.
And was it made by an individual with knowledge of the events that appear in it?
Yes.
Exhibit F is admitted as evidence. This
Yes.
is sufficient.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, it's sufficient as evidence to determine that a violation has occurred, and we'll find a first-time violation, although it may in fact have been a 3rd violation. An administrative fine of $50 pursuant to the ordinance shall be assessed along with administrative costs as stated on the record.
Thank you.
Okay.
Case number 68, Needham Lanier Eubanks, violation number 8427515, January 2nd, 2023. Vehicle with Florida state tag MTQM96 was recorded by a surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Hernando Beach. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by Needham Lanier Eubanks. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent, certified mail, directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or to appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This would be the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to the county, $24.88. Information will be provided by Premium Parking. County would like to submit Exhibit G, indicating certified mail was delivered and left with the individual.
Exhibit G is admitted as evidence, and there's no one from the public here to comment. Thank you.
And this exhibit shows a timestamp of the violation that occurred in real time. The timestamp was verified by a human. This is a ordinary case of business, and this is a regular business practice of premium parking does in regards to issuance of notice of violations.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events to appear in it?
Yes.
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
Yes.
And these records are kept in normal course of business?
Yes.
Okay. Exhibit F is admitted as evidence. This is sufficient evidence to determine that a violation has occurred. I will assess a first-time administrative fine of $50 along with administrative costs.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next case will be number 70, Sean Thomas Evans. We only have information and proof to verify that one certified mailing had been received. It will be for case number 70, Sean Thomas Evans, violation number 8220172, November the 19th, 2022. Vehicle with Florida tag MQIZ04 was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. Records reflected the vehicle was owned by respondent Sean Thomas Evans. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent certified mail directing the respondent to pay the fee or appear at the hearing on March 15, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This would be the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to Citrus County, $24.88. Premium parking will be providing witness information. Citrus County would like to submit Exhibit G, verifying that the certified mailing was delivered and left with an individual.
No one. What's that?
No, it's a different one. Have tracking.
Okay. Gotcha.
Exhibit G is admitted. Thank you.
In this exhibit, it shows a timestamp of the violation that was done in real time. The timestamp was approved or affirmed by a human being. This is the ordinary course of business and the regular practice of premium parking in regards to issuing notice of violation.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events to appear on it?
Correctamundo. That's an Arthur Fonzarelli a reference of Happy Days if you're too young to know that.
No, I know who the Fonz is.
Okay.
And that, and was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
Yes.
I also know who CCR is. Blew somebody's head out my last job that I knew who CCR was.
I barely know, only because of my parents.
Who's
but,
Clearwater Revival.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
I was like, CCR, the Fonz,
Yeah.
is who you barely know.
Oh, well, I didn't know that was the Fonz at all. I mean, is that a Fonz thing?
Oh, come on now.
Mundo.
Correctamundo?
No. I mean, I've heard people say that, but I have no idea where it's from.
Happy Days.
Happy Days.
Arthur
Yeah.
Fonzarelli. Or Fonzie.
Right, that's where that Ron Howard was on that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he was on there.
Well,
before he was director.
and Henry Winkler
Yes.
was the Fonz.
That was
Okay.
the
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. Let's see.
I thought you were trying to speak Spanish or something. I was going to be like,
Yeah. Yeah, Ron Howard was on that one. Prior to that, he was on another show,
yeah, Andy Griffith show.
Andy Griffith show. There you
There you
go.
go. Now that one I know.
Okay.
Exhibit F is admitted. This is sufficient evidence to determine that there has been a violation. This will be in case 70. First time administrative fine of $50 is assessed along with administrative costs.
Thank you. Case number 72, Cam Anthony Faso. Violation ID number 7979028, October 2nd, 2022. Vehicle Florida tag EFUK42 was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Allen Gulf Beach. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Cam Anthony Faso. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent certified mail directing the respondent to pay this launch fee or appear at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This would be the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. County administrative cost to Citrus County, $24.88. Premium parking will be presenting the information provided. Citrus County would like to submit Exhibit G, showing proof that the certified mail was delivered and left with an individual.
Exhibit G is admitted, and there's no one from the public. You would have thought that for a boat launch hearing, you would have had lots of people show up just to watch, it go down.
We actually had people saying they were coming to.
Really?
Oh, yes.
We did. There were
hotly
some that
contested.
were wanting to come and contest for their reasons.
Hey, the one person who did show up prevailed essentially, which is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And every now and then it happens in code compliance. It doesn't happen often, but every now and then. The county may disagree with me on these cases, but it does happen every now and then. And the county could appeal me.
And this exhibit shows
But could
a
we-
violation of a launch. There's a timestamp that occurred in real time. The timestamp was verified by a person. It's an ordinary course of business and a regular business activity of issuance of notice of violations from premium parking.
Was the record made at or near the time of the events to appear on it?
Yes,
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person who has knowledge?
yes.
Exhibit F is admitted as evidence.
Yeah.
It is sufficient to determine that there's been a violation. A first-time fine of $50 along with administrative costs is assessed.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Case number 77, Timothy Frazee. Violation number 8146107, November the 5th, 2022. Vehicle with Florida tag number NYHB51 was recorded by a surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located Fort Allen Trail Park. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Timothy Frazee. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or appeared at the hearing on March the 15th, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This would be the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Cost to Citrus County administrative cost would be $24.88. Premium parking will be providing backup information, explanation of the backup information. Citrus County would like to submit Exhibit G showing proof the certified mail was delivered and left with an individual.
Thank you.
Exhibit G is admitted. And let the record reflect there is no one left from the public. Thanks. Our all-day hearing is really going to be something. I mean, strap yourself in, buckle up, because that'll be a wild ride. This is, I mean, if it's half of the high octane, hold on to your chair ride that this has been.
I mean, the pop culture reference has really kept it.
kept
it's
us-
important this gap
kept us
between
alive.
when Mr. Demet reviews this, that we put something into it.
We do.
Yeah,
It's great. It's kind of like a baseball game in extra innings. That's what it'd be like.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be next time. Yeah, 20 innings.
Exactly.
20 innings.
Exactly. Bring your popcorn,
Yeah.
everybody. So,
Oh,
No, no,
Popcorn.
no, I'm allergic to.
Oh,
She won't,
okay.
Like,
It
no,
can't
you
be in the
cannot
same
have that.
room.
Oh, wow. Okay.
can't
You
even
look
go
at
to a
corn?
movie theater.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish you had disclosed that before. I mean, there could have been an incident.
I see. Well, I have to leave the building when people.
Okay,
Just
wow.
popping popcorn.
She goes home.
right. So,
Okay.
So you can't go to baseball games, right?
She didn't even
Well,
go to the movie
It's
theater.
outside, yeah.
Be outside.
Movie theater.
Movie theater?
In
No.
Theaters.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Oh,
Dang.
yeah.
That's really something.
It's,
I've never
I
heard of a
was-
corn
I
allergy.
came from Iowa,
Yeah.
so
You
it's
came from where?
Iowa.
Ethanol and,
Really?
and popcorn and
Yeah,
What
gotta
city?
Keep the vents closed on the car. when
What
I'm
city in
driving.
Iowa?
Des Moines.
Okay. I've been there. And Cedar Rapids. And Dubuque.
Best state
And Waterloo.
fair. Best
What about
state fair
Riverside?
in the world.
No.
that's where Captain James T. Kirk will be born in 2233. But anyways,
Right? Been to Keokuk, Iowa too. Good
I've
good
been
deer
to
hunting.
Keokuk.
Anyway, in this exhibit, it shows a timestamp of a boat launch violation that occurred in real time. The timestamp was verified by a live human being. This is the ordinary course of business and a regular business activity of premium parking in regards to issuing of a notice of violation.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events to appear on it?
Yes,
Was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes.
Exhibit F is admitted. And it is sufficient evidence to determine that there's been a violation in this case. A fine of $50 with administrative costs is assessed.
Thank you. Case number 80, Patrick George, violation number 842-7071, January 2nd, 2023. The vehicle with Florida tag number DEY C64 was recorded by the surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's in Homosassa. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Patrick George. Notice of violation was sent to respondent by certified mail, directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or to appear at a hearing on March 15, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to the county, $24.88. Premium parking will be providing witness information. Citrus County would like to submit Exhibit G, showing proof that the certified mailing was delivered and left with an individual.
Exhibit G is admitted. And there is no one from the public.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This exhibit shows a timestamp of a violator that occurred in real time. The timestamp is verified by a live person. This is an ordinary course of business and everyday business activity of premium parking issuing notice of violations.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events to appear on it?
Yes,
And was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes.
Thank you. Exhibit F is admitted. This is sufficient evidence to determine that a violation has occurred. and a fine of $50 along with administrative costs is assessed.
Thank you. Case number 82, Andrew James Glander. We will just be, even though he does have currently 2 violations, we will be just reviewing the first one, 783-2978. On September 2nd, 2022, vehicle Florida tag number IC08DS was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at McRae's in Homosassa. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. The records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Andrew James Glander. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or to appear at the hearing on March 15, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding the notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This would be the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to Citrus County, $24.88. Premium parking will provide witness information for the information provided. Regarding this first violation, Citrus County would like to submit Exhibit G for proof that it was delivered and left with an individual.
Exhibit G is admitted. There's no one from the public. Thank you. I think we'll do one more case after this and then figure out the continuance situation.
This exhibit, the violation of boat launch is indicated by a timestamp with a license plate number that occurred in real time. This violation is verified by a person. This is the ordinary course of business and regular activity that premium does in regards to issuing notice of violation.
And was the record made at or near the time of the events appear on the document?
Yes.
And was it made by or from information submitted by a person with knowledge?
Yes.
All right. All right, this is sufficient evidence. Exhibit F is admitted, and I will assess a fine of $50 along with administrative costs. Thank you.
Okay. Our final case for today, case number 84, Joshua Cody Gray, violation number 8295882, December the 5th, 2022. Vehicle with a Florida tag 4864UN was recorded by surveillance camera launching a watercraft from the county-owned boat ramp located at Fort Island Gulf Beach. Florida records were checked to determine ownership of the vehicle. Records reflected the vehicle was owned by the respondent, Joshua Cody Gray. Notice of violation was sent to the respondent by certified mail, directing the respondent to pay the launch fee or to appear on a hearing March 15, 2023. Respondent has not contacted the county regarding this notice of violation. Respondent has not paid the launch fee. This is the respondent's first violation within a 6-month period. Administrative cost to the county, $24.88. Premium parking will provide witness information. Citrus County would like to submit Exhibit G showing proof that the certified mail was delivered and left with an individual.
Exhibit G is admitted. Let the record reflect there is no one from the public. Thank you.
This exhibit, a timestamp is shown that shows a violation, which occurred in real time. The timestamp was verified by a live human being. This is an ordinary case of business and regular business practice of premium parking in regards to issuing a notice of violation.
And was it made at or near the time of the events that appear on the document?
Yes,
Was it made by or from information transmitted by a person with knowledge?
yes,
And it's kept in normal course of business?
yes.
Exhibit F is admitted. It is sufficient evidence to determine that there's been a violation. A fine of $50 along with administrative costs is assessed. Now, according to my count, we actually made substantive determinations on 40 cases, although we kind of got through, more than 50. In other words, before we had to go back on some of them. I don't know if that helps you determine what you want to do with continuances and what we think we could get done in a full. I mean, it looks like we could get through 100 cases in a full day or more because, we were bogged down with procedural stuff in the beginning. I think that's good. I mean, that's more than I would have expected. So, what do you all want to do for continuances on the cases?
Well, I certainly think we should go at least 2 months, maybe 3 months out.
Yeah.
April, May, so June.
When's
So
our
you've already
next
got a
hearing?
hearing set for June
Right.
already, right?
But that's for the
What's the date?
cases that came in
I know.
outside of this.
And that's still going to be a half-day thing, I think, right?
Because there shouldn't be that many.
I think so. Yeah.
for the June 21st.
Right,
Because this
right.
is
It'll,
December and March, right?
June will still be a half day because it already had to be, the mail outs had already started.
But you think we'll be able to get
September.
that agenda done based?
I mean, there's not gonna be 240 some cases.
It's just a matter of getting this resolved.
No, this is gonna be on a different day.
Right, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, as long as that's resolved on the contingency date, because if,
Right, okay,
right?
yeah.
So I know Cecilia sent an email out about, was it, tell me if I get this wrong, the first Wednesday and like the first and second Fridays are available each month? That was a question mark at the end of my voice in case you could. Did I get
And,
that
and I
right?
think I said second Friday, but that's going forward,
That's moving forward.
beginning in September, I believe.
Yes.
Right, but could we use those same days in June or July? As an alternative for the continuance for
Right,
these
it's,
days?
historically, this room is available the first Wednesday of every month and every Friday. But I know you guys have court, like the third and fourth Fridays, but the first, and Kat can look at the calendar, she has access
So
to
if
verify
maybe
the availability of this
This
room.
is March, so if we look at June,
The first Wednesday in June is June 7th. And the first Friday is June 9th. The second Friday is June 16th.
No, the second Friday is June 9th in June?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's weird that the first, it's the first of actually, the Friday comes before the first Wednesday, so it threw me off. I apologize. It's
I-
June 2nd and June 9th.
I can do the 9th. Actually, I can probably do the second too.
what do y'all's calendars look like?
June 9th would be better.
I'm sure mine is fine, I'd have to.
And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna kick out all of the ones that we didn't have service on, as well as the ones that we did have service but just haven't gotten to. Okay. I think that'll work. I think we can get through it.
And it's a 9 a.m. start time?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. I could do earlier. And it might be a good idea to do earlier to make sure we get it all done. Because again, it's going to be 160 cases, and some of them might abate by then. A lot of them might abate.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather do it at 8:30, to be honest.
Okay, I'm fine with 8:30. Building opens at 8, right?
Okay.
So we'll just make sure the
We
room is
decide on the 9th
available
or
that
the
day.
Yeah, I mean, I think June 9th is what it should be.
June 9th?
At 8:30. So when the notices go out, they have to have the time for 8:30.
Does that work for premium parking?
Yeah, we'll have somebody here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else to take up at
One
this
that
time?
draws the short straw would be.
Yeah.
I think I'll be in England.
Oh,
So I'll be here.
wow.
I'll be in England in Paris, but
Yeah.
you know what? I'll
Did you
probably
just
remotely.
schedule that now?
No, it's
You
been
scheduled
scheduled.
that just now.
Are you,
Just
No,
a
I'm
second.
No, it's
I lived in Paris once, and that is a great time of year to be over in that neck of the woods. I don't know about England,
Oh, yeah, April and Europe.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
but yeah.
Well, you'll be there in June. No, I always went.
Yeah, I went in July on Bastille Day, and I forgot that it doesn't get dark
Yeah,
over there till around 11 o'clock.
yeah.
And I had to be someplace at 10. And I was, had a nice bottle of French wine and half a tower. And I was like, man, I got a couple hours to get ready.
Not,
And it was already like 10:45. I was like, oh, wow. But it was.
not too shabby. All right.
Where haven't you lived?
I've lived in a couple places, mostly in the Pacific area, like Indonesia, Australia, stuff like that. But anyways, is there anything else that we need to take up besides the continuance? Okay, then what I'll do is I'll formally, continue the rest of the hearings, as stated a few minutes ago, to June 9th at 8:30 a.m.
And the ones that were vacated, those will be continued as
Yeah,
well.
the ones that are vacant, anything that we didn't get service on, and also the ones that we just didn't get to that we do have service on, or you have service on.
Okay.
All right, the time is on my watch 4:57. This hearing's adjourned.